Hi, today I will talk about the novel and the movie of the story Wonder. The book was written by the author R.J. Palacio, her full name being Raquel Jaramillo Palacio. She was born on July 13, 1963, and is an American author and graphic designer. The cover of the book was made by herself, and the characters inside the book that were drawn were also made by her. She's the author of a lot of novels for children, and the best-selling novel was Wonder, which she also wrote, obviously. Wonder was published on the 14th of February on Valentine's Day, 2012, and the time frame of this story was not specified in the book. So the book has four principal themes that include kindness, differences, family, and courage. So the theme of kindness is manifested when the reader realizes that Augie doesn't expect people to be kind with him. The only times he will see people be kind with him, he will suspect that they were made to be kind to him, or that the parents of his friends were forced to be kind to him. So this is a theme that is pretty much very present in the story, and it is also shown throughout the story, through his new friends and through his family. So the difference, the theme is shown by the characters in the story are going to be more influenced by the differences of Augie. For example, since he was in their school, they became more open-minded at the end because of his differences. And it's those differences that made them be more accepting in the end for most of the part. That's a big part of the story, this theme. Another important theme is the family. So the story will show the impact that family has on Augie, and they will always be there to help him, but at the same time, it also shows how his family doesn't have it easy either. And even though they're here for him and that they support him in every single way, it's difficult for them to see him being bullied, for example. And it's also hard for his sister Olivia Augie's sister Olivia, to see that he gets all the attention, even though she knows that it's hard for him. But at the same time, she also has it hard. So it's a difficult situation, but they're always there for each other. So it's a beautiful theme. The last theme that is really accentuated in this story is the courage. So August, I'd say, is the spitting image of courage in the story, because he will face his fears and go to school even though he never went to a real school. And that's a big manifestation of courage, since he could have just stayed at home since his parents offered him to stay. But instead he wanted to face the looks of other people that they had towards him, and so that takes a lot of courage. So another element of the story is the first-person narration. So the first-person narration in the story is very important because it has a big impact on the story. So at first in the story, we have the first point of view of Augie. So we see everything from Augie's point of view. We see his life, his story. And even though the story is always more or less on August, about August. Throughout the story, we will see his sister's point of view, and then later on, we will see Jack's point of view. And yeah, so that's a really interesting part of the story, and that's an element that is found both in the book and in the movie. So that's really interesting. So we explored the characterization in the story of Wonder. So there is August Pullman, who is the main character and the boy with the deformed face. And Jack Will is one of his only friends, as well as Summer, who will come sit at his table when no one else will. Then there is Charlotte Cody that came to welcome Augie, and her parents told her to go help Augie with his inclusion at school, but she still likes him. We can see that she still respects him as a person. Julian is the bully in the story, but we also see that he is a bit controlled by his parents. Olivia Pullman is Augie's sister. There's Miranda Navis, who is Olivia's and August's first friend, family friend, kind of. And she kind of grows apart from Olivia since she got a little bit jealous from her family. She saw that they were united, that they were always there for each other, and so she made up a story at camp about her as if she was Olivia and that she had the family she always dreamed of. So yeah, that's the characterization of the story. Then there is also the imagery of the story. So the description of Augie's face deformity. So this is from Olivia's point of view. So when she says that he suffers from a genetic condition called mandibulofacial dystosis, and she is the character that explains what his condition is. And when she does this, she uses imagery to express, well, to kind of illustrate his face and what it looks like. Even though she won't go into details, it's more like she describes the situation. Then the author of Wonder will describe Augie as follows. So she wrote, Augie is just an ordinary kid with an extraordinary face. So that can tell, even though it's really vague, it can say a lot about Augie's face. So it can let the reader imagine that either his face is really beautiful or it's really unique and deformed. So about the movie. So obviously the name is Wonder. It was released in 2017. It's a coming of age drama film and directed by Steven Chbosky. It was written by Jack Thorne, Stephen Conrad, and Chbosky, and stars Julia Roberts, Owen Wilson, Jacob Tremblay, Noah Jupe, Isabella Vidovic, Bryce Geezer, and David Diggs. So the big element of the narration point of view is really important in the movie, just like the novel, and it will add a lot of more impact to the story. So it kind of saves some details for later if this is clear. Well, I'll explain it. But so for example, in the story, Olivia will go see Augie when it's his first day of school. She will go see Augie and whisper something in his ear. But when that happens, it's the first point of view of Augie. So the second time that it happens, we can hear what she says only the second time when it's her point of view. So I think that's really interesting because at first we wonder what she says, but throughout the story we eventually see what she says when it's her point of view. So I will show a little extract of the movie right now. So this showed a really bad quality video of her whispering and not us not hearing what she says, and later on well, the viewer will understand what she says. So the cinematic effects in this movie has a really big impact. For example, when Augie and Jack are making up, it's through the Minecraft game. So we have the Minecraft view, and the two of them are typing, and Jack apologizes, and Augie will accept his apology, and they make up. So at first we only hear their typing, and later on when Augie laughs at a joke Jack makes by Minecraft, we can start hearing the music going kind of, it's like a victory, joyful music. So here is a little clip. So this is a really touching moment in the story, and I really like personally this moment. It was really a great cinematic effect on the viewer's perspective. So the soundtrack of the movie was by Marcelo Zarvas, and he composed the main theme song, which was "The Stars and the Moon." So the use of camera, it wasn't really. It was mostly zoomed in when there was a lot of emotion shown. For example, when Augie came home from being bullied, sorry, and we saw his face more clearly, and the camera was more zoomed in, so we could see the emotion, like most basic movies. The lighting was natural light, except during the Olivia's theater scene. So when she had her theater show. So the film reviews, I'll share one. I'll share both reviews. So the first was the Rolling Stones. So writer director Steven Chbosky sidesteps the more blatantly cloying cliches inherent in the genre and finds a beating heart that mostly transcends the heavy dollops of Hollywood's sugarcoating. A first-rate cast doesn't hurt either. So he compliments the actors, and well, he says that it doesn't sugarcoat the whole bullying side of the story. So that's a good thing. And then there is Rotten Tomatoes, who wrote, "It's a very tasteful heart-tugger, a drama of disarmingly level-headed empathy that glides along with wit, assurance, and grace, and has something touching and resonant to say about the current climate of American bullying. At the same time, the film never upset the apple cart of conventionality. Wonder is an honest feel-good movie, but it lacks the pricklier edges of art." So like I said before, the camera angles were, it was basic, and it was good quality of it was good quality, but just enough for the story to be greatly expressed. But it was not arts or the most artistic thing. So basically, the this story will restore faith in humanity when you see everyone being kind in the end. And well, the book and the film have really a good mesh together, and they both show the best side of Wonder's story. So this is the film review and novel review from the story Wonder. Thank you. Have a good summer.